Hello and welcome. As an expert in modern hospitality operations, I'm truly pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. In this explainer, we're diving into something that is absolutely essential for success in the MICE industry. That's meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, of course. We're going to explore why internal alignment is so critical and how it's the real key to turning a client's big vision into a perfectly executed event.
This slide really gets to the heart of the challenge. On one side, you've got the sales team. Their whole world is about securing that major event, capturing the client's dream. But then, on the other side, you have the operations team. They're the ones who have to deal with the complex reality of making it all happen. And honestly, the biggest hurdle in the entire MICE industry is building a strong bridge between that promise and the actual practical delivery. So what happens when that bridge doesn't get built? Well, what you get are departmental silos. You have sales over here and operations over there, and they barely talk. When that communication breaks down, it's a disaster waiting to happen. You can have the most amazing, high-value contract, but it can quickly just fall apart into chaos and ultimately service failure. And we're not talking about small problems here. These are real, tangible, and very costly failures. Just imagine this. The banquet team has spent hours setting up a room for 100 people, theater style. But it turns out the client was promised a classroom layout for 50. That one simple arrow creates a chain reaction of frantic changes, big delays, and a client who is understandably very frustrated. It's these kinds of miscommunications that snowball, and they can do serious damage to your venue's reputation. Okay, so that brings us to the most important question of all, right? How do we actually build that sturdy bridge between departments? How do we guarantee that the vision we sell to the client is the exact experience we deliver on the day? Well, the answer is having a clear and consistent playbook. This isn't about just hoping for the best. No way. It's about putting a solid set of essential, practical tools and processes in place that guarantee everyone is on the same page, ensuring a smooth execution from the moment the contract is signed to the moment the last guest leaves. And at the very heart of this playbook is the Banquet Event Order, or as you'll always hear it called, the BEO. You need to think of the BEO as the single source of truth for any event. It is the absolute master document. It's what translates that sales contract into a step-by-step actionable plan for every single department that has a hand in the event. And this is a perfect example of how it works. A good B&O leaves zero room for guesswork. The kitchen knows the exact menu, the dietary restrictions, the service times. The banquet team sees the precise room setup diagram and the number of guests. The tech team knows exactly what audiovisual equipment to have ready. Every single department is working from the very same script. And that, right there, is how you prevent those costly misunderstandings. Now, the BO is a huge part of this, but it's just one piece of a critical process. You can see it here. Once the contract is signed, the BO gets created. But look at step 3. That's where the real magic happens, the internal handover meeting. This is so much more than a formality. It's the moment when the sales manager formally briefs the entire operations team, goes through every detail, answers every question, and makes sure everyone is perfectly aligned before a single table is moved. So here's a crucial point to remember. Alignment doesn't start with the handover meeting. It actually starts way back with the sales team. If you promise a client a ridiculously fast room turnover that you know is impossible, or some complex technical setup your venue can't handle, you are setting your operations team up to fail. Selling realistically based on what your venue can actually deliver has to be a shared team responsibility. Okay, so having the right tools like the BO and a solid process is essential. But if you really want to master alignment, you've got to go deeper. You have to work on shifting the entire culture of your organization, moving away from those isolated departmental silos and towards a state of genuine synergy. This slide just captures that culture shift perfectly. In a siloed hotel, sales is only focused on maximizing revenue, and operations is only focused on controlling costs. You can see how that creates instant conflict, right? But in a truly aligned organization, everyone, and I mean everyone, shares the same ultimate goals: achieve amazing client satisfaction and generate that all-important repeat business. When that happens, it changes everything. Departments start supporting each other instead of competing. And you build on that synergy with a constant feedback loop. You see, the best teams get together for an internal review after every single event. They look at what went great, what could have been better, and they dig into the guest feedback. And this isn't about pointing fingers or placing blame. It's about one thing: turning every event into a valuable learning opportunity so you can refine your processes and work even better as a team next time. So after all this hard work, what's the ultimate payoff? Well, it's huge. The client gets a seamless professional experience from their first call to their final goodbye. Your employees feel supported and respected, which does wonders for morale. Your venue earns a rock-solid reputation for excellence, and, of course, all of that comes together to drive sustainable, long-term business growth. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? I want you to remember this fundamental idea. At its core, internal alignment isn't just about being efficient behind the scenes. It's about transforming all that complex, hard work into truly memorable experiences. Experiences that make clients want to come back to you again and again, building the kind of lasting relationships that are the absolute bedrock of our industry.